Hey there, dragons! Cynic Ropey here, and it's time for Music Theory Lesson 4. Get ready, it's going to be a wild ride. I brought along the online keyboard, and you can play along on your own if you just go to the link I put in the Google Classroom assignment list. If that doesn't work for you, find a different website or app on your device, whatever it is that you're using, find something that works for you. And you can play along with me now, or you can just come watch this and come back later and do your own thing. It's up to you. All right, here we go. Last week we saw how doubling the frequency of a note makes the pitch go up exactly 1 octave. So if I play a note there and I play double the frequency, they sound similar to each other. And they have the same note name. The reason for that, again, is that the 2 frequencies line up together beautifully. Our brain recognizes that they fit with each other. So, we're going to talk today about how the notes in between those 2 similar notes of an octave follow a pattern all through the keys. First, it's time to reveal the solution to last week's Math Music Challenge! All right, that's enough. Settle down. All right, so last week's Math Music Challenge was to figure out the frequency of that note right there, A4. So we started at the lowest note on the keyboard, A. Frequency 27.5 hertz. We doubled that to A, 27 times 2. Alright, so last week's Math Music Challenge was to figure out the frequency of this note right here, A4. To get there, we started at 27.5 hertz. The frequency of the lowest note on the piano. We doubled that to go up an octave to A. 27.5 times 2 is 55 hertz. Then we doubled that frequency to go up an octave to A. 55 times 2 is 110 hertz. Then we doubled that to go up an octave to A. 110 times 2 is 220 hertz, and then, one more time, we doubled that frequency to go up an octave. 220 times 2 equals 440 hertz. If you got the correct answer and sent it to me on time, there is a glorious prize coming your way. Congratulations, guys, and I can't wait for the next Math Music Challenge! Our target for today is I can name the notes in the C major scale and find them on a piano keyboard. Now, naming the notes, you've already got. C major scale starts at C and just travels from C up to C. And the notes are the same as the letters of the alphabet. When you get to G, you start back over at A. So, boom, naming the notes, check. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, finding them on the keyboard, I'll explain that today and then you'll be good to go. Oh yeah, but before we do, there's one more thing. If you can name the notes of the C major scale and find them on a keyboard, then you can name every single white key on the piano. All of them. Because that repeats and repeats and repeats. So if you can find them here, you can find that C. Well, you can find that C. And you can find that C. And you can play it anywhere on the keys. All right, let's get started. First thing we'll do is talk about scales. Now, a scale is just a series of steps that brings us up an octave. The scale that uses every note is called the chromatic scale. Let's bring up the chromatic keys, and I'll play you the chromatic scale. Okay, it's not very catchy to the ear, and most songs don't use the full chromatic scale. When they do, they sound something like this. Or maybe like this. But a lot of times people want something a little bit simpler to listen to, a little bit more catchy. That's why we use different scales, to have different musical feels. The most common scale is called a major scale. It's that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do that you've heard so many times. It can be in any key. It can start with any note for do. For today, we're going to talk about C major scales, because when you start on C, you use only the white keys of the piano, and that just makes it easier to track for when you're just getting started. So C, B, E, F, G, A, B, C. Those are the notes of the C major scale. So if you want to play that on a keyboard, all you have to do is make sure that you find the right starting note, that you find a C, and then go up from there. So if you can find the C note on the piano, you can play a C major scale in any octave. All you need to do is be able to find that C. Now there's a few different ways you can do it. You can recognize that the group of 12 notes that keeps repeating has 2 black keys and then 3 black keys, and then it repeats 2 black keys and then 3 black keys, and that goes for the entire keyboard. You can just remember that C is always going to be to the left of the group of 2 black keys. Or you can use this rhyme: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, then the B and then the C. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, then the B and then the C. If it helps you to have a rhyme to remember it, you can use that. And that goes for anywhere on the keyboard. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, then the B and then the C. Alright, wherever you find it, start there, play up the white keys, and you've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Alright, let's try it a few times together. We'll start with a C. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, then the B and then the C. Alright, what about right here? Could we just remember group of 3, group 2? Okay, to the left of the 2. All right, champions, you can find a C on the keyboard, you can play a C major scale, and you can name the notes of that scale. That means that you can name any of the white keys on a keyboard, go amaze your family and friends, practice that scale, but also play around, see what other sounds you can make. Remember, if it sounds good to you, that's all that matters. Have fun. All the best to you and your family. Stay safe, be well, and I will see you next week.